Welcome back to the WHHI-TV Daily News. It is Arthritis Awareness Month, and here to talk to us a little bit about that is Dr. Steve Knauf. And so, Doctor, thank you for being here today. It is Arthritis Awareness Month. Talk to us about the most common types of arthritis and the causes of that.
So there's actually over 100 different kinds of arthritis out there, but the two most common kinds are osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, but they're very different from each other. In osteoarthritis, this is really what I think a lot of people think about when they hear that term arthritis. It's just the long-term overuse, wear and tear that breaks down the joint. It could be because of injury, poor posture, that leads to an unhealthy joint. Rheumatoid arthritis, while that destroys the joint over time too, it does it through a different way. In rheumatoid arthritis, it's actually your body attacking your own joints through an inflammation process, which is often caused through an autoimmune disease. So ultimately, the end result is the same, that you end up with arthritis, but it's just two different ways of how that can happen.
Right. And so is rheumatoid arthritis in itself an autoimmune disease, or do you have an underlying something that then causes that?
Rheumatoid arthritis can be tied to other autoimmune diseases, but it is in itself an autoimmune disease.
Okay. And so how can chiropractic work help to alleviate either one or both of those causes?
With arthritis, chiropractic care is really focused on maintaining joint health, which is important when we're talking about arthritis and how it is destroying your joints. Chiropractic care does this through making sure that your joint is aligned well and that it's moving as best as it can. Because when it's aligned properly, when it's moving well, it can take on more stress, physical stress, our day-to-day stuff, and it won't impact the joint as much. Also, when it's moving well, it acts like a pump. And so all that inflammation and stuff that builds up around the joint, as your joint moves, it actually pumps some of that stuff out. So you also get to feel some immediate relief from those aches and pains once the joint is moving better.
And I think a lot of times we feel like when we hear the term arthritis, we think of our older population, but really, I mean, athletes, dancers, those kinds of people, even if they're younger, they can kind of get that inflammation if they're not having things in proper alignment. Is that correct?
You're 100% correct. Some people are harder on their bodies than others at different ages, and so that can damage your joints and create wear and tear. But there are also other certain types of arthritis that impact babies, infants, and younger populations. Now, they're not as common, thankfully, because those are really awful versions of arthritis.
So what are some tips for alleviating pain if we're not at the chiropractor?
Some tips and tricks that we always recommend for our patients, a couple of them: stay active. Our bodies really need to stay moving, which can be hard for people that have aches and pains. They don't feel motivated to move, but it's one of the best things that you can do. Do some light stretching, some walking, swimming, just low impact stuff. That'll help just get your body moving and on a better path. The other thing is just watching what you eat. We hear the term inflammatory foods and anti-inflammatory foods, and it's really important, especially for people with rheumatoid arthritis, to be focused on anti-inflammatory foods as they think about what they eat through their day. The other two are just general tips and tricks that are good for a lot of things, whether it's heart health or your brain health or your gut health. People just don't sleep enough. So making sure you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, that's when your body heals itself, so important. And then finally, just finding ways to manage stress. We're all busy in our day-to-day. We're all taking on a lot mentally, physically, and finding outlets to manage our stress are all very important things.
Yeah, well, all excellent advice. Just real quickly, what are some of those inflammatory foods we should avoid? I know the list is really long, so just give us a couple.
It is really long, but it's your processed foods, it's your sugary foods, candies, it's your alcohols. Those are all things that can build up inflammation in our bodies and should be avoided.
Okay, well, I appreciate you being here. If people want to learn some more information, as it is Arthritis Awareness Month, where should they go?
For more information, we make it easy. You can visit thejoint.com.
All right. Well, thank you, Doctor, so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks to everyone on the show today for their insights and contributions. As always, our production team is behind the scenes to make all of this possible. And of course, we are honored that you have chosen to share a part of your day with us. I'm Betsy McDaniel, and we'll see you for the next WHHI-TV Daily News.